welcome back to another video on my channel. Today I am back with another story time video for you guys of the worst experience that we had, me and my family, at a restaurant about a week ago. So it literally just happened. Obviously by the time you guys watch this, it'll probably be about 2 weeks since it happened. But yeah, oh my god, we had the absolute worst possible scenario / experience you can imagine at a restaurant when we went out for dinner last week Tuesday. So if you want to know what happened and why it was so bad, then just keep watching. Okay, so let me start from the very beginning. So last week Tuesday, it was my cousin's birthday and we decided that we would go for a nice family meal. There was 12 of us, so my parents, my sisters, my husband, me and my gran, and then there was my dad's sister, her husband and my first cousin from our area, and then from central London my two first cousins were coming to meet us as well. So altogether the 12 of us decided we will go out for dinner to celebrate my cousin's birthday, and plus, you know, the eat out to help out like discount thingy that's going on Monday to Wednesday, we thought we'd go on Tuesday even though his birthday was on a Thursday, and we'll just go for a family meal to celebrate his birthday and eat out for a good price. So originally they had planned that we were going to go to a place in East London called Freddo's or something. It's like, you know, burger, steak, a bit of everything. And so we were going to go into 2 or 3 cars. So my family were all going to go in their own cars, like 2 cars, and then me and Inam were just going to go and meet them exactly where we needed to be. So they decided that 1 car of them lot would leave earlier and go queue up, while the others would then come home from work and then meet them. So then hopefully we wouldn't all have to be waiting for like 2 hours in a queue, because there's no, like, it's so weird, right? So nobody's taking any like actual bookings. You just have to go and queue for this eat out to help out in a lot of places. But so that was the case. So 1 car left. That included my 2 sisters, my cousin whose birthday it was, and my uncle. So them lot all went and they were going to go to Freddo's, but it ended up being too busy when they got there, and the people said that we wouldn't be able to get in until about 10 o'clock. So then me and Inam had already left in the meantime, and so had my parents after they'd got home from work. So we were all on our way to Freddo's, but then we get a call from my sisters saying that we've changed our mind, guys, we can't go there, come to this place. So there was another place that they gave us the address of, and we were on our way there, and then they were like, yeah, we just got there, it's really dingy, we don't want to go there anymore, come to London Ribeye Steakhouse in East London, and this is where we're gonna go, we're not changing our mind again, like, it'll be fine, we'll just go there. So it was like our 3rd choice, basically, when we had nowhere else to choose from, and it's called London Ribeye Steakhouse. Don't know if I should actually be like exposing who they are, but it's actually so bad, so I want you guys to know not to go there. So I thought, screw it, you know what, I'm just going to tell you where it is that we went. So it's called London Ribeye Steakhouse, and we all went and met up there. It is in East London. I don't know if I took any pictures, or between us we took any pictures or anything of the service, but if we did, I will insert pictures for you guys as we go along, but I can't quite remember if we took pictures and stuff. So from the outside we got there and we saw that it doesn't look nice. In that moment we were like, oh, should we go somewhere else, should we not? But by that time it was already 8:45, so quite late for dinner time anyway. So then we're like, no. And then we spoke to the people there and they're like, no, we have like seating and a restaurant inside, like just past the initial takeaway sort of area, there is seating and everything, and it's like eating, dining, so don't worry, it's fine inside, like, you know, we are a restaurant and we do sit people down and do dining. So then we're like, okay, we'll wait. But from the outside it literally looked like a takeaway, like, you know, when you go to a takeaway they've got the counter all along one side and just, I don't know, like 2 seats and a waiting area. Then you go down some steps and then there's a whole like L-shaped dining area there. So we were like, okay, well, we're here now, it's already quite late, we're not really going to find anywhere else, we won't be able to eat till like 10 if we change our mind and go somewhere else now, so we'll just stick to it. So we decided we are just going to go there. Also guys, if you check online for London Ribeye Steakhouse, the rating is 4.4 out of 5. I feel like they made up that rating by themselves. Like, they just made it up, the actual restaurant, after my experience there, because I don't understand why it's 4.4 out of 5. It definitely isn't. It's probably a 1, if that. So we go in at 8:45, and we obviously needed a table of 12, which they said that they could accommodate when we called before going. And they said it would be fine. But when we got there, they only had a table for 8, sorry. So we got in now, and it was still quite small. It wasn't like a proper open plan dining area or anything. So 8 of us sat down, and then we were just waiting for the people in the corner to kind of finish eating, and then they were going to join the table for us, so it can be a long table for all 12 of us to fit. So those people finished eating, and the waiters and stuff were nowhere to be seen. So we were like, oh, we're not just going to stand around. We will just put the tables together ourselves. Like, we just had to join 2 tables. We were like, it's not a big deal, we'll just do it ourselves, pass over a chair from over the table and stuff, and all get seated down. So by the time we actually sat down, it was probably like 9 o'clock. We didn't actually wait that long from our booking at 8:45, so that wasn't too bad. We sat down, and then we were just waiting. We got the menus, we were just deciding what we wanted and waiting for somebody to come and wait on us. So we actually ended up waiting for a good half an hour before we could even find a waiter. I don't think they had more than 1 waiter that night. And there was also other tables. There was 1, 2, 3, 4 other tables of 4 who were waiting to be served as well. They were also dining in, and we could hear while we was picking our food that they were complaining, or they were like unhappy with their food, or their stuff hadn't come on time, or they were given the wrong order, or whatever it may be. So we were already like, oh, this doesn't sound great. Like, we're hearing bad stuff from the tables next to us, but hopefully it'll be fine. So we picked everything that we wanted, and we were just waiting to get served, waiting. We even went up and asked them like, hey, we're ready for our order, can you come and take our order please? And nobody had come. So then what we did to make it easier, we kind of my sister wrote everything down on the phone, what we wanted to order, so she can just read it out when they come to our table. They never even ended up coming up to our table. Like, we did not get waited on. So my sister then had to take her phone, go up to the main counter and tell the guy, hey, we've waited too long, we're ready to order, can you take my order? So the guy at the till basically said to her, yeah, sure, I'll take your order now. Grabbed his pen and paper, and as she was reading it out to him, he would midway through writing leave that and then go serve other people, go do something out back, like multitask continuously, to the point where she was like, can you finish taking my order? Like, can you do one thing at a time? Like, take my order and then do what you need to do, because this is taking too long. So then the guy was just like, oh, okay, yeah. And he quickly took down the rest of the order, and she was like, let me double check, because you haven't been attentive. So let me just double check that you're giving me the right stuff and that you've written it down right. As she was checking the order, she saw that, no, he did not write it correct, obviously, because he was multitasking. So then she told him, excuse me, sorry, you missed out this, this and that. And he was like, I'll get a pen and write it yourself. What? Do I work here? Why am I getting a pen and writing it myself? What the hell? So then she was just like, sorry, I don't have a pen. You have the pen. You need to come and write my order correct. The guy just handed her a pen and then went back to doing the other stuff that he was doing. So she then had to write out the order of what we were going to have, the starters, mains, drinks, everything. She wrote it all out in a way that he would clearly understand in clear, bold English, and gave it back to him like, this is what we ordered. Don't take long with our food. We've already been here about 45 minutes now. So she come back and she was so stressed. Oh my God, she literally looked so stressed. And she was like, okay, yeah, I've ordered now, so hopefully it'll be out soon. People on other tables in the meantime were getting really angry. Like, we could fully hear conversations. There was nobody serving. There was no other waiter. It was just one guy. And my uncle has waiting experience, so he thought, you know what, I'm just going to help out, because otherwise our food is never going to come out. So my uncle started helping them because they were taking too long. So it got to a point where my uncle had to just get up and just start helping them, because they were just getting everything wrong for everybody, and we were getting put off while we were waiting. But my uncle has waiting experience, and I think he enjoys it. Like, he was having a great time. I think quarantine made him really bored sitting at home, not really talking to anyone and stuff, so he didn't mind. He was more than happy to help. But the point is, he shouldn't have had to help. So he was bringing food out to other tables. He was asking the guy when our food is going to come. Our starters finally came, but when our starters came, they did not give the right amount of food for each portion. So like a portion of their fried prawns or whatever, you're meant to get like 10 or 12 in one portion. We got like 8 or 9, and it happened a couple times with a couple of different starters that we had ordered. At that point, we were kind of losing it and like just kind of getting fed up, and my dad was called the guy over and said to him, look, you've given us the wrong stuff. You've not given us as much as what you've said is in each portion. Can you please double check everything, go back and make sure it comes out correct, because I don't want you to keep having to go back and forth because you've missed stuff. And so the guy was like, oh yeah, let me just double check. And then he went back and he brought what was missing. And in the meantime, we haven't had any drinks, by the way. So our starters have come out. It's like, I want to say 9:45. Our starters have come out. We have no drinks. We have no plates. Like nothing. So we're all just sharing the starters from the little actual dishes and stuff. And we're like, oh my God, when is our drinks gonna come? Like, drinks are taking forever. Like, we're all thirsty. We've eaten our starters now and we're all like dying for a drink. And it got to a point where they were just so non-existent, the staff there, that my uncle went to the fridge and he brought our drinks over. He checked what we needed and what we wanted, and he brought everything over. And then we were like, yes, finally some drinks, blah, blah, blah. At that point, we were already kind of like done with this place. We were contemplating like leaving. She was like, oh, should we leave now? Like, then we can go somewhere else. Should we find somewhere else that we could go to? We were just like, oh, what should we do? And then the next bad thing that happened was the drinks were expired. They were serving expired Sprite, expired Coke, expired Diet Coke. Fully expired. They gave it in the little glass bottles where you open the top with the can opener, but on there it has the expiry date, and the expiry date was like, for example, Feb 2020 or October 2019. Why do they still have drinks there that are from October 2019? That is almost a year old, and that is what they're serving. And we were like, no, that is not on. My dad called the guy over, my uncle called the guy over. He came and my dad was like, look, why have you given us expired drinks? Pretty much everyone had ordered Coke or Sprite or something, and all of them were expired. Why is your drinks expired? Look, this is the expiry date. Why are you serving these? These should not be served. Do you not have any other drinks, like actually fresh drinks? And the guy was like, oh, sorry, I can bring you guys cans if you want. And then we were like, yeah, but check the date on the can as well. So then he come back, he replaced all the bottles with cans. And in the meantime, we're still waiting for our food. It's gotten to like 10:15 by that point. We're like, our food hasn't come. They're faffing. My uncle's having to help them out. Other people are complaining. Our drinks were expired, and now they've just brought us a bunch of cans, and we're kind of put off now because it's all a big fat mess. And we're just like, oh God, should we go somewhere else? Should we leave it? Should we go? We started looking at a few other places on my phone. I got up a few places, I called a few places, and a lot of them were like quite a long wait, where we were like, oh, if we go now, we probably wouldn't be able to eat till 11, half 11, which is really late. And then by the time we get there, is it gonna be worth it? And then I found a burger place on my phone that was about a 5-minute drive. And then me and Inam were like to my family, what we could do is we could just drive down to there, check it out. If it looks good, we'll call you guys and you can come meet us. Like, this is such a shitty experience. We haven't got our mains yet, so it's not too late to leave. So then my parents were like, okay, you know what, yeah, you guys go check it out. And it got to about 11:15 at this point by the time we decided that actually, yeah, we will go check out that other place. And me and Inam got in the car, we drove 2 minutes down the road, and then we get a call from my uncle saying, oh guys, come back, the food is here. Like, they're just serving the food now, so don't worry about it, just come back, we'll eat on time, it's fine. So then we turned around, we came back, went into the restaurant, And then the food that they had served, oh, it was awful, guys. Or the food was not nice at all. Nobody liked their food. We all ordered steaks and burgers. The adults ordered like rice, like biryani, and a few other things as well, like lamb chops or whatever. I can't remember what they ordered exactly. So all of our food came. It did come at the same time, but by the time our food came, it was like 10 to 11. So we asked for our steaks to be well done, because we had before on the table next to us that they'd asked for their steaks to be medium well, and their steaks were very, very pink, and they'd complained and they sent it back, and they were waiting for it to come back, and it was taking too long. So we were like, you know what, just to be on the safe side, we'll just say we want all of them well done. We don't care, like, you know, if we ask for well done, they might give us our steaks as a medium. So we were like, everything well done, all of the steaks fully cooked all the way through, blah, blah, blah. And then when our steaks came, they didn't taste nice. They were rubbery and chewy and just tasted old. All of them pretty much were pink. Like one of my cousins, she cut her steak apart, and through near the bone, it was like basically bright pink. So she was put off. My other cousin, he was put off. The burgers were weird, like they just had no flavor. My steak was dry as anything. I don't even think my sister ate hers either. The biryani that my gran had ordered had like raw onions and other stuff that it just wasn't cooked well. So she also didn't enjoy her food. Her food also took a bit longer to come out than the rest of ours. And we literally had to just keep like going up to them to tell them that they need to come and wait on us, because there was just no waiters. And then at one point there was a long queue outside this restaurant as well, which we don't know why. My aunt, as a joke, was like, oh, I feel to go tell those people, why are you queuing here? Go somewhere else. You're wasting your time queuing here because it's rubbish. And then our food came and we just hated it, and we're like, oh, what do we do now? Like, can't get up and leave now. We kind of just have to eat what we can. And everyone basically ended up having just chips. We all kind of left our steaks, more or less left our burgers. None of the burgers tasted right. None of the steaks were cooked right. Lamb chops, biryani, whatever the adults got, they didn't really enjoy either. And it was just a big fat shambles. Like, it was awful. And then to make up for the fact that the service was so bad, the owner / manager, waiter, whoever the guy was, he came and he's like, oh, let me give you guys some free mojitos, blah, 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 to make up for it. Bear in mind, yeah, by the time our food came out, we were the only ones left in the restaurant. It was like 11 o'clock or almost 11 when our food came out. At that point, all the other customers had either eaten and left or just got up and left. Like, they were gone. So they served us when there was nobody else to serve. But when we were waiting for our starters and our drinks and all of that stuff, there was other people in the restaurant as well who didn't get served. So by the time we actually had our dinner, we were the only ones left. So they had no other business. They had nothing else to do. So at that point, they were like, yeah, we'll give you 100 free mojitos to make up for the fact of your food's come out bad, your food's come out late, your food's come out wrong, we've given you expired drinks, blah, 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 blah. That's when they had the time to finally serve us. And we were like, you know what, keep your mojitos, we don't need them, we don't want them, take it back. Like, just go back to your little kitchen now. What's the point serving us now? Our food is already messed up. So that was that. It was such a bad experience. And then we were like, you know what, none of us were full. Like, nobody had eaten, basically. So we were kind of still hungry when we left. And we were just like, what a weird experience, what a rubbish experience. We should have just got up and left after the starters. We should have just done that. I don't know why we didn't in the end, but we should have done that. And then we were like, you know what, they better give us a discount, because we're not paying, not even the eat out to help out 50% off. We're not even like okay paying the 50% off. It needs to be less than that, because we've served ourselves and the food was rubbish. So then my sister worked out the bill where she had written down she'd written down our order. She worked out how much it should be so that they can work out how much they wanted to pay. So when the bill came, at that point, me and Inam had left. We'd barely eaten our food. We both ate some chips. He ate a bit of his burger. I had like 2 bites of my steak, and we're like, let's just go home, we've got work tomorrow, we don't need to drop anyone or anything, so we'll just leave. So we weren't there for when they brought out the bill and stuff, but my sister sent me a picture and a text and stuff later of how much they ended up paying. And after all of that trouble and all of that rubbish service, we only got £30 off from our 50% off bill. Only 30 quid off. Bear in mind, really and truly, they should have paid my uncle for working. He full on was working, serving people at other tables, bringing stuff to our table, checking that people were all right. Like, they needed him to be a staff member because they only had one other waiter. And they were prepping deliveries as well. So they had deliveries prepping, they had people sitting in the restaurant, at least 6 tables worth of people sitting at the restaurant. They had to make the food, all of that with one waiter. I just don't get it. Why do you only have one waiter to do all of that? It just makes no sense. So yeah, overall it was a shite experience. But looking back, like even then, like in the moment, we're like, this is so bad, it's laughable. We may as well laugh. Oh my God, I forgot to tell you guys. Let me tell you about the toilet. So we get there obviously, and then we're like, oh, we should wash our hands and stuff. My sister was the first one to go wash her hands, and she was like, as soon as she came back out from the bathroom, she was like, give me hand sanitizer. The bathroom is so disgusting. I feel more dirty after washing my hands than before. So the rest of us were like, screw that. We're not going to go and wash our hands. We're all just going to sanitize our hands, because the toilets were vile, like absolute vile, like disgusting. So the toilets were gross. Oh, it's just so bad, you guys. It was disgusting. Do not ever go to that place. It was kind of a waste. It was actually such a waste. We shouldn't have gone there. We shouldn't have given them any money, because the food was shit too. Like, fair enough, if they were busy and they only had one member of staff, somebody could have called in sick, I don't know. So whatever, fair enough. If the food turned out nice and it came on time, then it would have been fine. It would have made up for all the other things. But when the food finally came, when there was nobody else in the restaurant, the food itself was rubbish. So there's no excuses. They did not do well in anything, nothing. Every part of that dining experience was rubbish. So in the end, after we left, my sister wrote a massive review, like a really bad review, and posted it on TripAdvisor. So hopefully if you guys ever consider that place, or if it ever pops up on when you're searching for a restaurant, do not go there. Trust me, don't go there. It was the worst experience ever. It was disgusting, and I would not recommend a single person to go there. I don't even know why they're open, let alone why they have 4.4 stars, because they should be flipping 0 stars. Like, who gave them 4.4 stars is what I'm curious about. I really don't understand who gave them 4.4 stars. They must have made it up themselves, because every single other table in that restaurant while we were in there complained too. It wasn't just us, it was every single table, 4 other tables at least, including us as well, 5 tables, and we all had complaints. So yeah, that happened just last week, and talking about it now, it's still pissing me off. I'm still annoyed about it, because we were really looking forward to eating out together as a family, and taking advantage of the 50% off, and that is what ended up happening that night. So yeah. Okay guys, so I hope you guys enjoyed that story time about such a rubbish experience that we had at the London Ribeye Steakhouse. Please don't ever go there or consider going there. And even if you haven't been there, do me a favour and write them a bad review on TripAdvisor as well, so that they can get shut down. Their hygiene rating was apparently 5, which in person it was not. It was just as bad as when you go back home and you go to those dingy toilets and those dingy restaurants where they have no such thing as hygiene or sanitization. So yeah, it was gross, but I hope you guys enjoyed hearing me rant about my family dining experience out at that restaurant. If you did, then be sure to leave me a massive like. Leave me a comment below if you've ever been to a restaurant where you've had such shit service as well and it turned out to be a massive flop. Let me know the names of those restaurants below so I can make sure I never go to those. Yeah, other than that, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I'm thinking of doing a massive giveaway at 500 subscribers. So the sooner I get there, the sooner I will do the giveaway for you guys. And yeah, I think that's everything that I wanted to say. So I will catch you guys on my next video. Bye! The biryani, no.